how to build a massive investor network and raise millions of dollars in capital without wasting months going to networking events, meetups, and talking to people who will never invest. If you are a commercial multifamily real estate investor who's working on taking down big commercial deals that are 30 units or more, and you need to be able to raise more than $1 million on a consistent and predictable basis with a proven system, then the next 5 minutes are going to be very helpful for you, and they're going to be one of the best 5 to 10 minute investment that you'll ever make. If you're not there yet, maybe you're working on single family, or maybe you just got started and you're working on small 5 to 10 unit multifamily deals, this is not for you. Okay, so let's jump right into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the capital raising formula. These are the 3 foundational components that you need to be able to raise as much capital as you want. If you have these 3 things in place, you'll have no problem raising capital. If you're missing any of these 3 things, that's when you're going to start struggling. So the first thing is identifying who your ideal investors are. The way that you need to think about this is you need to think, who's your ideal investor avatar who resonates with you, your deals, and will invest the easiest and the fastest. Right? There's some investors that resonate with you but not your deals. Others resonate with your deals but not you. You need to get clear on who your ideal investors are that will resonate with you and your deals. A lot of multifamily real estate investors and capital raisers who are looking to raise capital don't even know who they're looking to raise capital from. And they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to raise capital from everyone and anyone with a pulse. And this is why they end up raising capital from no one. If you want to treat raising capital as a business and make it predictable and repeatable and build a consistent system, the first step is identifying who your ideal investors are. Some of the things that you need to think about or take into consideration when doing this is your investment standard. What's your minimum amount of money that you're going to allow your investors to come into your deals with? Is it going to be $1,000, $5K, $10K, $50K, $100K, $1 million? Once you get clear on this, the next step would be deciding whether you're going to go after non-accredited investors, accredited high net worth individuals, institutional, right, in a specific industry. What we want to do here is build a strong foundation. Once we do that, the next step would be having an automated networking system to find, connect, and convert your ideal investors. You need to be able to find, connect, and connect with your ideal investors consistently and predictably on a weekly basis without any of your effort or time. It's already hard enough to get you to watch this 5 to 10 minute video training, right? And you're busy, you have a lot of things going on. So you need to either delegate this, systematize this, automate this, or find a system that can help you find and connect with your ideal investors on a weekly basis so that you can convert them. And the third thing is the branding process. If you're going to be in the private equity space, raising capital and literally asking people for money, you need to position yourself and your brand as experts, have credibility and authority. These 3 components will help you raise as much capital as you want. But if you're struggling right now to raise capital, then it might be because you're missing one of these 3 components, right? In that case, that's when we could possibly help you. If you have all of these 3 things in place, then you don't even need help in the first place, and our system may not be a good fit for you. But if you're missing any, then that's when we could start talking about how we could get this implemented. So the next step is talking about the capital raising roadmap. Before we talk about this, let's just be on the same page. In order for you to raise millions of dollars in capital, you need a massive investor network, right? Do you agree with that? If so, then I want to get you to open up to the possibility that the best way to build a massive investor network is not going to networking events and meetups and hosting investor lunches and dinners and all of that stuff. Like, who has time for that? High net worth individuals don't have time to go to meetups and attend events and all of that. So that's not where you're going to find them. They're not into wasting a lot of time, energy, money, and being away from their family. Right? The best way to build a massive investor network so that you can raise millions of dollars in capital right now is the new way of networking, or as I like to call it, digital networking. And the best digital networking tool right now is a podcast, right? So you are not going to become a podcaster. You're simply going to use a podcast as a digital networking and capital raising tool. With that in mind, let's go into the roadmap. The first step is identifying who your ideal investors are. Once we do this, our system is done for you. So we find and connect you to your ideal investors, right? We put in the work to find them. We put in the work to call them, message them, reach out to them, get them to fill out an application so that we can qualify them and make sure they meet the criteria and requirements. And then we get them connected to you on your podcast. If you are able to invest up to 4 hours per week into this, over the next 6 months, we can help you build a massive investor network of 50 to 100 of your ideal investors. Right? And you also end up with 50 to 100 podcast episodes that we optimize, multiply, and distribute for you. So let me explain. Optimize means we make everything look beautiful, right? We create your expert brand, your intro, your outro, edit every single interview. We multiply that into a bunch of clips, reels, posts, stories, emails, and then we distribute all of that all over the place without you having to lift a finger. So your podcast episodes would be on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and all major podcasting platforms. Your clips, reels, posts, stories, and all of that would be on all over your social media. And we build an email automation for you. And this is how we get you to the finish line of building a massive investor network, establishing your expert brand, increasing credibility, authority, investor exposure, and helping you raise millions of dollars in capital. So my next question is, do you want to get this implemented 100% done for you? Because part of our system is we help you find your ideal investors. We connect you to them. We help you build a massive investor network. We do all the work behind enhancing your brand, positioning you as experts, increasing credibility, authority, and investor exposure. So if you would like to get this implemented 100% done for you, then the next steps would be scheduling a capital raising strategy session to go a lot more in depth into how everything would be implemented step by step. But there's some, you need to answer some questions before that. So if this sounds good, the next step would be clicking on the button below so that you can go and book a call. You're going to go to a page that looks like this. You're going to be able to pick a time zone. After that, you're going to be able to pick the day and the time for our call, right? And then you're going to have to fill out some questions, right? It's going to be your name, phone number, and email, and then about 5 to 7 questions that you're going to have to to answer. And we have some important notes. We get high volumes of real estate investors who want to book with us and want to learn more about our system, right? There's a lot of people who want to book, but there's very limited time on where to book them on. So if you want to be considered for a capital raising strategy session, make sure that you answer the questions as best as you can. That lets us know that you're serious. The call is going to be on Microsoft Teams, so make sure you have it downloaded on your computer and you're ready to go. We don't want to get to the day of the call and waste 10, 20 minutes trying to get you to log in. And show up on time on your computer in a proper environment. And failure to follow any of these instructions will end up in a call cancellation. So if we see that your application questions are not answered, well, we're going to cancel the call. And we're going to give the slot to someone else who is serious about getting a proven and predictable 100% done for you capital raising system in place for them, done for them, right? So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is if there's any other decision maker, that is involved in your decision making, bring them to the call. That way they can get value as well. And, they can learn about our system. And at the end, we're going to look at the perspective of maybe helping you get this implemented 100% done for you. And, you're going to have to make a decision whether you would like us to help or not. And if having your spouse or your partner or your capital raising partner would help make the decision, bring them to the call. Okay. So if everything sounds good for you and you would like to learn more about this, click on the button below, go and fill out the questions, book a call, make sure that you show up on time on your computer in your proper environment, and bring any decision maker with you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.